Woohoo!
Brother, brother, oh brother of mine, I wish you could be erased from all of time, that evil itself could take you away and leave me alone on this very day.
What's going on, guys? This is Mike with Chit Chat Gaming. So today I want to do a quick review on a game, an upcoming game for Nintendo Switch. But first things first, I want to give a big shout out to Stage Clear Studios for providing me with an early review copy of this game that they're actually porting over to the Nintendo Switch, and that is Max: The Curse of Brotherhood. Once again, it's for Nintendo Switch. It does release this Thursday, the 21st of December, for $14.99 in the Nintendo eShop. Now, this game came out originally back like in 2013, because I remember picking it up for my my Xbox One. When I first got the Xbox One, there wasn't a whole lot on it. I mean, there was some great games and stuff as well, Titanfall and such, but as far as indie games goes, I wanted as much as I could get out of independent games. So I went ahead and I found this game on the Microsoft Store, picked it up at the time, and I'm telling you right now, I liked it a lot. It is a puzzle platformer. It reminds me a lot, and this review is just going to be a simple review, no spoilers. It's more of my thoughts on the game. So, again, though, it is a puzzle platformer. The game reminds me a lot of like Pitfall, meets like Uncharted, meets like Rhyme, meets Last Guardian. It's a little bit of everything, but again, and even some Zelda thrown in there as well too. It is a side-scrolling puzzle platformer. Now I'm not gonna lie, I will admit that I did have to jump on Google to find some of the answers or the different ways to actually solve these puzzles, because there's actually some difficult ones on there. I mean, they weren't too difficult, but there was some on there that I did have to get some help with. So basically with this game, you're Max, and what happens is that, and like I said, it's a spoiler free, this is just kind of the beginning. You actually come home from school. Max finds out his brother Felix is basically destroying all of his toys in his room and such, and as any other brother would do. I grew up as a lone child, so I have no idea how this works, but I have kids, so I can definitely see him doing this. Of course, he wishes that his brother would basically disappear. Well, that happens, and Felix gets kidnapped, so Max is definitely now 100% on board of finding his brother Felix, who he just got rid of. So he basically goes on a nice adventure quest to find his brother and basically getting him away from the monsters or whatever it kind of took him. I don't remember the name of them exactly, but basically he's on his way to rescue them. And along the way, he ends up getting help and such with this marker, this magic marker that he has, that kind of you use throughout the whole entire game to basically build different platforms and such, and kind of break them down as well too. That actually, like I said, it's a puzzle platformer, so once again, this does indeed come into play a lot as far as how the whole game basically works. The beginning of the game is kind of just you kind of jumping around and such. There's not really a whole lot to it, but then as you progress and once you find the magic marker, then you utilize that, and every stage is indeed a puzzle. Now, like I said though, originally playing this game on the Xbox One, I will say this though, playing on the Nintendo Switch was a bit different. It looks just as good. The quality of it looks, there's not really a huge difference as far as like frame rate, as far as graphical goes. It looks great. The game still looks great in general. But I will say this though, that playing it on the handheld mode was a little bit of a task to do. I don't know if this game is available on the 3DS. I don't believe it is, but if it was, it'd be almost near impossible to play, because once again though, with the game being a side scroller and being a puzzle game, the way that the camera angle works is it's always kind of like a far away shot. And I can show you here, if you can see, I'll put some gameplay up there as well too, but as you can see, Max is like clear up here. So again though, it's very, very far away. The camera angle is very far. So when you're playing this game on the actual handheld, it can be a task. I mean, it's not horrible. Don't get me wrong, it's not horrible. It's actually still a fun adventure, but it's definitely different. I just died. It's definitely different playing on here versus playing it when it's on docked with the actual Pro Controller. I found the most enjoyment of playing it with the Pro Controller when it was docked. But as far as being a comparison to the Xbox One version, and actually to the actual other platform versions as well too, because I believe it's on Steam, it still looks good. It looks great. Everything about it still plays. The controlling handle's nice, and everything else works perfect. It's just that I found a little bit of troubles with the actual handheld mode versus actually being able to play it on the TV. But as far as that goes, guys, it reminds me a lot, like I said, of like Pitfall. I remember playing Pitfall back in the day for the Sega Genesis. And it reminds me a lot of doing that, except for the fact that you have all these different puzzles you have to go through and such to kind of progress within the game. And like I mentioned before, the puzzles do indeed get a little bit harder, a little bit difficult. you kind of have to just like definitely use your head a lot as far as that goes. You have to basically use boulders and such. It kind of reminds you of like the the shrines and stuff in Zelda Breath of the Wild, where you have to kind of like use your head, and you have to use like different boulders and such to basically like knock down different platforms. And like I said though, you got to use that magic marker a lot to basically build things and knock things down and such too. So it's a fun game. I liked it a lot. I've had a lot of fun playing it. I haven't got a whole lot of time into it, but I have had about 4 hours into it or something like that. So I'm not too sure how long the game is, because I didn't complete it on the Xbox One. Like I did mention, I did pick it up back in 2013. I know what people are saying. Guys, this is Mike, this is a 2013 game we're playing just now in 2017 on a Nintendo Switch. I understand that. It's a port. I'm not going to complain about it, because we're luckily enough we're getting great games, great indie games, great games like this we're seeing from Xbox One, not Nintendo. Like I'm saying, I understand this is definitely an old game, but it fits perfectly for the Switch. It's almost like it should have been made for the Switch. For the handheld mode, a little iffy, but it still definitely works. But it's definitely a type of game that I can see myself playing on the Switch a lot. And like I said, I do love it in dock mode as well too. The Adventures of Max. Max is a great character. You fall in love with the story as well too. But again though, it's a nice little action adventure puzzle platformer game. I know it's a lot of different genres, but that's basically my best way to explain it. And like I mentioned, it has a little touch of Zelda in there. A little touch of, like I mentioned, Pitfall. It's got a little bit of touch of Last Guardian Rhyme, as far as having those little puzzle platformers in there and having those little puzzles and such that you have to figure out. It definitely makes the game a lot of fun as well too. So I definitely recommend checking this game out. Like I mentioned, it does come out this Thursday, the 21st of December, $14.99 in the Nintendo eShop as well too. I don't believe they're going to have a physical copy, but again though, in the eShop it will be there this Thursday. So once again, I want to give a big shout out to Stage Clear Studios for providing me with a copy of this game. If I was to rate this game right now out of a scale of a 10, 1 to 10, I'd have to say this game is probably a 7 out of 10. And the only reason why I say that is because of the fact that it is a little bit difficult to play on handheld. I'm going to take a little points off of that because the majority of people, including myself, do play it on a handheld, and it is indeed hard when you get to some of those levels with the camera angle being back. So basically the panning being back so far, it does make it for a little bit difficult to see. But again though, it's no different than having like an 8-player Smash or something, or a 6-player Smash on your 3DS. So I can't really give it too much hate for that. But as far as the way the story goes and such, it's very, very good. Like I said, it's a great adventure game. So once again, I'm going to probably give it a 7.5 out of 10. With the biggest fault, basically being the fact that it does indeed not work so well on a handheld mode. But dock mode, it is fantastic. Once again though guys, this has been Mike with Chit Chat Gaming, and once again, happy gaming.